Time for another update. This time we're on the bottom of the rear light cluster. The new spyder panel is all in, but what I've got is just slightly out at the bottom of the rear lights, there and there, for both sides. It's a little bit too low and it needs to be shifted over this way a little bit. Now it's not the lights that need to be shifted, it's the bottom fiberglass panel part. So what I didn't want to do is sort of start cutting it all up. So I've taken a mould of the bottom, and what I'm going to do is recast this bit in fiberglass and then put it in here, and that will lift it up. Once I've put the lights back in, then I'll get it all leveled up. So that's the next stage. I've just demoulded bits that I've cast. These are the original moulds which I've taken from the car, and it's now on there. This is what basically I ended up with, and that is a direct mirror image of this. It's just laying in there at the moment. The idea is to separate the two parts, which I've done on this one, and once I've trimmed it all up, I'm actually going to lift it up so it'll just come up. And when the lights are in, it will look like the Scuderia or the Mark II or the facelift version at the back. These are, as I said, they're too low and they're not positioned perfectly, whereas with this bit I can now change it, which I'll show on the next part of this video. So the next step is to square the car up. It was pretty level anyway in the first place, and then make sure the lights were in the square, so by using a crosshair laser level. There's my marks on the tape. So once I was happy with that, then I went and squared it up at the bottom and put my little cups in to raise it up. It's a bit dark, I'll put the light on in a minute. And then lowered the laser and got my bottom lines for the little cup inserts just there and there. I'll do the same for the outside one. It's quite self-explanatory really. And I'll show you the result so far with some light. All the filler work has been done, and the first coat of the polyester filler primer has been applied. This was about 3 days work to get all the lights lining up and to make sure they're all perfect. And now, as you can see, I'm on the rear deck lid, so you can just see, because this is only my first coat, first slice has gone all the way through there to there, and again by using a laser level I was able to accurately cut and shut the two pieces together. This is fiberglass on the back to make sure it's nice and strong, and this is just to fill in. The actual contour shape is the bit that I was mostly worried about. It seems to have got there, and this is the Ferrari third brake light, just as a former. It's all waxed up, I've just got to push it through, and I'll tidy that up when I finish the contouring of the rear deck lid. And then once that's done, in the next video I'll just show how well it matches up. That's it really. So next video. So the profiled shape of the deck lid is now done, including the insert. And now it's just getting it to perfectly match the shut lines. So just starting to get that sorted, using the packing either side to make sure the boot lid is perfectly square, and next video will be showing it all finished. Final layout of primer filler for the new rear panel. Paint is still soft, but all the fettling and the little marks have all been taken care of. So that's now all finished. Hopefully this gives you a better idea of how it all sits. The new rear deck lid, it's not coming out too great, but that's all now done, and it's all, so it's first coat of primer filler. Just polished up. Now if you can actually get an idea of how that sits, and the next time you see it, it's going to be just laying on the car, but this primer filler takes about 3 hours to dry. And that's it. Oh, sorry, yeah. And now just moving on to doing a bit of the door. This is the bonding paste, the P40. What I use is I actually fill the gap with some lightweight fiberglass mesh, and then fill the hole with that. That's also still going off. I've got the other side to do. Actually, that's the hole that I'm talking about. Oh, get there. This one here, that's what it is like. So all this area is filled with fiberglass mesh, and stuff there. I'll do this side in a minute. Well, now we're basically finished. So all the contours are sorted out, all the shut lines are sorted out, and it just needs the final sort of primer filler ready to paint, which I'll do later on. But that's the end result. You can see that it's not actually, it's only just sitting there, but on the Scuderia, or the 1600M, or whatever one you want to call it, it's got something like a 7 or 8 mil gap, which is what I've mimicked there. I'm just starting to cut out the internal panels, and that's it really. Time to move on to the next part, which is the rest of the panels around the headrests.